Let's bring in at this point Stephen Booth, Policy and Research Director at the think tank Open Europe. Good morning to you, Stephen. And let's just start by how incredible it is that this morning we're talking about a May-Corbyn partnership in paving the way forward for Brexit.
Well, that's the idea, yeah. We're yet to see how well it'll work. Clearly, it's very difficult for the Tory party, and May's going to have a lot of grief, I think, for this. And I think it's still yet to be seen how much cooperation Corbyn is prepared to give, because clearly a lot of his MPs have been prepared to back various forms of Brexit, but on the precondition that goes to a referendum. And whether something can be delivered through Parliament without going to a referendum, I think, is unclear at this stage.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because by saying that she will meet with Jeremy Corbyn to discuss a way forward, Theresa May is sort of blurring her red lines, because, of course, Labour want a customs union. They also want, any deal to be put to the people. How are the mechanics of this work? Are we looking at a softer Brexit?
Well, I mean, some of this is actually semantics, because the current deal that the Prime Minister has proposed includes the backstop for Northern Ireland, which effectively includes a customs union for the whole UK, unless and until we can find alternative arrangements for a customs union. What Labour have been saying is they would like a permanent customs union, but for the short to medium term, there is pretty real no difference in substance between what the Prime Minister is proposing and what Labour have been calling for. I think the question will be, what other demands might Labour have over and above that in terms of things like workers' rights, or even a closer relationship to the single market. I think those are areas where you would really start to see a major blurring of the red lines that Theresa May has set down.
It's interesting, whatever they agree, how quickly can the EU move from their side? Because obviously, if they do come to some kind of agreement on something really big, like a customs union, how quickly can and will the EU move to accommodate whatever they decide?
Well, I think there are a couple of things the EU would be looking at. I think, firstly, if it's all about changing what the future relationship might look like, I think the EU have been clear that's something they could do reasonably quickly. I think what the EU's concern will be is how quickly the Parliament here can pass the deal. Because Theresa May has been slightly ambiguous about how long an extension we might be seeking. I think the EU would be saying, well, look, if you're seeking an extension, that means a long extension, potentially preparing to take European Parliament elections. The government here would be hoping that they could pass a deal before they had to have European Parliament elections. But I think the EU would be insisting on the default being a long extension, the UK preparing to take part in those European elections. And if the deal is done before, then great. But if not, we're looking at a longer extension.
OK, Stephen, good to get your thoughts this morning here on Sunrise.